coming to you live. You have on today's episode of Ryan and Derek question everything. Explain yourself. You got questions? We got answers. We also got the facts from me instead of Heather. I know that stinks. But anyway, I run the crap out of a song, and we also talk about the controversy inside and outside of the ring, and also some movies, and as well as what the crap is going on with the Olympics. Without further ado, this is Ryan and Derek, pushing everything, episode 10. All right, everybody, this is time for me to ruin a song. So, um, yeah, um, there are a few songs or a few bands that we will not touch just because of out of respect, but we just yeah don't really see the point in ruining those. We'll do karaoke to them, but we're not going to ruin them. So I might get a lot of flack on this one because a lot of people like this song and like this band. I, on the other hand, don't.
I mean, they're okay.
Look at this polygraph. Every time I do it makes me look like Mark McGrath. So rude. And what's that smell coming from Joey's bed? This is where I threw up. I think the president fucked up. In Denver, we had a doubt. The store is for bad eating out. This is where I thought I was cool. Most of the time, wine made me poop. Criminals record their name with mice. I must have done a dozen crimes. I wonder if it's too late to try and get on Ricky Lake. All together now at the pen. I'm not them, so let me in. Oh wow, oh golly. Her body spread out on the bathroom floor. It's hard to escape. Time to escape. Yeah, bye bye. Yeah, bye bye. Or then for time to say you're gonna die. That wine made me poop. I'm crying. I'm crying. Okay. Live in an arcade. No, I don't. I went bankrupt and I gave special things under the table. And somebody burnt it down. Stupid song. You're like myself. Kids since then. I've had a couple kids since then. Okay, I have destroyed this song.
Yeah, you definitely have.
So, yeah.
The original concept of Ryan and Derek ruin a song, you definitely ruined that song. Off tempo, off peach, yeah, off a peach, off a pineapple pear. Yeah, I can't even speak right. You got me so discombobulated. I can't even speak right. I was like, what in tarnation?
What in tarnation? So those who couldn't read that,
They can read some of it.
all right, my writing, lies, you lying mother. Okay, that made my head hurt. I hate that song. I hate that band.
So out of all the songs to ruin, you chose the one that hurt your head on purpose?
I thought it was going to be okay, but whenever I started doing it, I was like, I am getting really sick. Ugh. So,
Okay.
that was Ryan Ruins a Song, Nickel Crack. I'm sorry, I can't respect Chad Kroger. He needs to go to Kroger's. Ah! Ugh. Jeez. Okay, that's enough. Stop recording, you piece of shit. And I can go first again. You just give me the date.
Okay. So, in Explain Yoself, we're going to give you option to go first, and your first date will be December 13th, 2016.
All right. So, December 13th, 2019, I had two statuses that day. The first one was got off work early. Heather tagged me in this one. So, got off work early today and ate lunch at the mall with hubby, sitting there enjoying our little lunch date. And then all of a sudden, I hear somebody being handcuffed behind me. Turn around and cops are handcuffing a person at the table. We don't know what was going on and don't know what happened or anything. He just got handcuffed and they walked out.
Weird.
Yeah. And this was later that night. I posted this and I said, you're a warm and comfy person to lay on when your wife, two guinea pigs, and a cat are snoozing on you. So, yeah, it was around when we first got our guinea pigs. And we still kind of do that sometime, but not in the summertime. It's too hot, but we do in the wintertime.
Makes sense with the body heat.
I radiate a lot of body heat. So for your date, I've got January 2nd, 2013.
Okay, I posted a link. Nebraska Cornhuskers trash talk Georgia Bulldogs SEC following bowl loss. And I put well then schedule an SEC team. Hold on. Yeah, and schedule an SEC school during one of your two open dates for the 2014 season, unless you can't finish. I honestly don't remember. I would have to go back and look who Nebraska played in a bowl game. I think they lost, and I think that's why I said that. So, wasn't anything to do about the University of Tennessee, which I am a fan of. So I don't even know why I posted that. To be totally honest with you, I don't know.
And I give you flack about that because you're living in all places but North Carolina, and you're not a UNC fan. I, on the other hand, lived in Tennessee and Kentucky. I still live in Kentucky, but I'm not a Wildcats fan, or UK. I'm UNC Tar Heels, just because I'm from there and I know nothing about sports. So I'll go ahead and just lay that out there.
Well, I didn't necessarily move to North Carolina by choice. My dad retired here, but I don't mind it.
So you were born in Maryland. Wouldn't you be a Maryland fan?
If we're gonna get into the specifics, like I was born in the Walter Reed Army Medical Hospital, so
Okay.
I should be a Georgetown fan if we're gonna go by that. Should be a Hoya.
Okay. All right. What? Crap.
The next date
Yeah.
would be September the 22nd, 2017.
Okay. So there was two, and I have to go off camera for that because I remember this. It was very traumatizing for me. So everybody knows I have this irrational fear of rabbits again. So, I remember we were at Walmart in Madisonville. Whenever I say we, it was me and my child and the girl that I was dating at the time. We were at Walmart, and my child found this huge rabbit head, and I had my back turned or something, and she comes up behind me. She goes, "Excuse me, sir, I'm your nightmare." And I turn around and she has this huge rabbit head on. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I turn pale white. And she's like, I'm here to talk to you. And yeah, so that scared the crap out of me. First of all. So yeah, I don't like rabbits. I'm going off camera. She says, hi, I'm your nightmare, and I'm here to talk. And I was like, ugh. Okay, so the second one, it was kind of. This is why I hated that town. So I said, why? And you actually just did a sad crying face. I said, why is electronics at Walmart even open at night? Turn the lights out because they're useless back there. And I went to go get a phone. So it says me. Yeah, I'd like to get a phone. My battery keeps dying very quick. The electronics person goes, yeah, your phone battery is on its way out and your phone doesn't have a replaceable battery. Me, okay, can I buy the AT&T phone right there under the case? And the electronics guy goes, no, not tonight. The system shuts down at a certain time, and since I'm new, you'll have to come back tomorrow. There's nothing we can really do. And I said, for real? So that was my rant for that.
Not really much of a rant.
Well, it's kind of pointless to have an electronics place open when they're like, oh, I can't really do anything right now.
It'd been funny if you'd have cussed them out. That would have been ranting. And
Well, Shannon knows all too well about how I deal with customer service, especially straight talk. So, Shannon from Madisonville, I know you're going to watch this. So, feel free to comment
on how I used to do straight talk customer service. And I'll just leave that one alone.
Touche.
So your next one would be February 3rd, 2014.
Once again, I have another college football post. I'm not going to go into the link. It says Tennessee to leave Adidas for Nike in 2015. Not that I'm against or for Nike, but if Tennessee wins a national championship, which we're still waiting on, they get an extra $100,000. I guess Adidas couldn't compete.
Mm-hmm.
My, how, and that was what, 2014. Man, that's been a long, hard road being a Tennessee fan. I don't know if any of the people in those sports talks groups are going to be watching this, but 2 wins over Georgia, 1 win over Florida since 2014. Been getting our asses handed to us by Vanderbilt a few times. As Dusty Rhodes would say, it's hard times being a Tennessee fan, daddy. It's hard times. Oh, yeah. God bless America.
If you will, I squeal.
And your third date will be February 5th, 2015. Yeah, 2015. Sorry.
All right, so all right, so I posted 2 posts that day. Yay, yo, cool. I'm in a familiar place today. I was 20. Hold the thought there. 2015, so I was probably working at Hertz Rent-A-Car Company, and I was in Clarksville getting a car. And that's really all I felt like posting, because the drive down there sucked, and I got stuck probably in a freaking Chevy Spark piece of crap to drive back all the way to Madisonville. And we had to go the long way. And then I posted, yay, my sister made my parents famous. They were on the news today. So Chick-fil-A does this thing around Valentine's Day or February-ish, sometime in February for some reason, and you get a free meal, and they were all like dressed up in tuxedos and stuff, and they were all on the news and in the newspaper. And so my family, except for me, is heavily involved in the Chick-fil-A shenanigans. Like, they all do the dress up like a cow and get a free meal and all that stuff.
Who does?
Sierra and Kent.
Really?
And Christian.
I did not know that.
And yeah, so my parents were actually on the news, and so was my brother and his wife. So yeah, they all like had a banquet for Chick-fil-A.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So your last date, sir, was March 1st, 2011.
It was March 1st, 2011? Oh, shoot, I put the wrong date down.
What did you put?
I put March 1st, 2015. No worries, I think I can fix that, maybe. Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and minimize my screen so that way it won't show me. Hopefully, maybe it'll show Ryan. It might show me. I don't know.
Yeah. 11. I'm sorry. It was 2011. I think I told you wrong.
Where was it? Boy, this would be a good time to, splice something in while I'm looking for this. What the hell is that? Oh, something.
I would have my daughter tell an inappropriate joke, but I've already been yelled at, and I'm not going to have her say it. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, maybe. Wait. That's what it was. Doop, doop, doop. Or you could do what you did on the second or third episode and start doing that doop, doop, doop. Boots with the fur.
Oh, wait. I got it. In the thick of it. Backyardigans.
Oh, gosh.
Through the thick of it. Dude,
I don't know.
boots with the fur. Bottom jeans.
That was when I was recovering from COVID when we filmed that episode. Dude, what? I need a freaking date. Oh, there we go.
Through the thick of it. And I
March
can't
1st,
get my voice that high.
March 1st, 2011. Oh gosh, that was like over 10 years ago. So I was still married to the second wife. So let's see. Oh gosh.
Backyardigans.
March 1st. Oh, March 1st, 2011. And do I have anything? Oh, I do. Sweet. Okay. All right, let me come back. If
Oh, you're there. I see you.
I was there the whole time.
Yeah. Technology.
Oh, that makes sense. I could definitely go for some of that cake that quite a few people are at work are getting. You know, that cutback cake. Yeah.
Hey.
I was kind of salty because actually I can these days, but military not so much. If there wasn't a whole lot going on, you could like let a lot of your people go, go home, since you really wasn't enough work to justify keeping that many people there to work.
Korea.
Not at that time. I was still in Utah at that time.
Oh, okay.
However, I was still recovering from my when I broke my kneecap, so I was still in like crutches and I don't know if I was still wearing crutches and the knee brace. I mean, I couldn't really work on planes. All I could do was like paperwork, and I'd already taken care of all the paperwork at work. So I was like, twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, all right, can I go home now? So
Twiddling your thumbs on Uncle Sam's dime.
I mean, I injured my knee on his dime and on his time too. So I'm just saying.
And that wraps this up for Explain Yourself.
Jeez, all right.
All right, and as always, we cannot have a show without questions and answers. So as always, I go behind some of our episodes that we haven't really. So me and Heather have sat down and written stuff out, or she has, and we leave stuff untied. She was like, there was a part one and a part one and a part one, and you still haven't done part two. Which, honestly, we have, but we just haven't had the time to do part twos to certain things. But anyway, so one thing that she was talking about in a episode was the restaurant of forgotten orders. So I told you wrong off camera. I told Heather wrong off camera. So it started in Tokyo, Japan, and I did some research to find out what it is exactly called and then what the name implies. So they employ mainly the elderly and those who have dementia, and it's located in Tokyo, Japan. So the restaurant isn't like typical places here in the United States. Everybody, like, they have the staff lined up and they open at a certain time. And it's not like certain restaurants. Everybody goes in and they get served and then they eat and then they all leave at the same time. So it's like here we would call it a rush, but it's all organized. So it's like a dinner or a lunch at a restaurant. So the people have their orders taken, and there's a regular staff on site to help the workers who may get upset or disheartened because they were told that what they ordered was wrong. So there is like a support staff there that, like, say if a person gets upset because they were brought the wrong thing, and they get disheartened about it, there's somebody there to calm them down. So, and of course, the cooks, they're all actual cooks because they don't want anybody with dementia killing anybody because of uncooked chicken or fish or something like that. Most of all who eat there graciously accept the wrong order. They have a ratio. This was 2017 that I found the information in. They have a 90% ratio of, like, they'll like go and serve the people and they'll accept it. So only 10% of the people actually get upset and want something else, which isn't too terrible. So that's the information that I found out about that. And apparently Heather said they have one in the United States, but I wasn't able to find where it was.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to travel to Japan just to have a person with dementia take my order. So
Right.
probably not going to happen. Actually, yeah. So I know you said you had some like some part ones and parts two and all like that. We actually did have some questions, kind of like random questions off of the group, mainly from Scott and Brent. Let's go with Brent. One of Brent's first. I guess he's more like topics. Like he said, like asked, did we know what the 100 pleats on the chef's toque or hat? I'm not even sure if I'm saying it correct or not. If we knew what that meant. And
Didn't you look that up?
Yeah, that was like well, somewhat conflicting because one site was like, oh, if they have 100 pleats. They've mastered 100 recipes of eggs, and then I thought I was like the other one was like they're a master chef, like regardless. So basically, the amount of pleats you have on your toque, I guess, and how tall it is conveys your level of expertise, and if you're a master chef, and how good you are, more or less. I didn't know that. I'm not a culinary expert. Only thing I know is Amy likes to watch the British baking show, and we like Zumbos, just desserts or something like that. I actually like watching Nailed It, with Nicole Byers and Jacques and whoever their guest speaker is, and also Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. So that's about as far as my culinary knowledge delves into.
So next time that we go and eat at a hibachi table and they have the guy that is there flipping knives around and stuff, I guess I'm going to have to pay attention to either how tall his hat is or how many pleats are in it, because I have noticed they all wear different hats.
I haven't been to I don't think I've been to a Japanese steakhouse since I went down to see my sister and brother-in-law in Florida. So, in a couple years.
Did you have any more questions? You actually wrote them down. I didn't.
Well, just to have you go back on your soapbox, I guess from a different segment, or maybe it was this segment, I kind of just competitive art in the Olympics. Do you have any thoughts on that or opinions?
I want the gold medal.
That's not really competitive though. That's just
It is due. How dare you?
What are you gonna Greta Thunberg me to death?
No.
Well, good, Ron. Because did you know that the majority of human brain is mostly fat? That was another one of Brent's topics or questions or whatever.
That explains why Triple H's head is so damn misshapen and stuff now. Like, have you noticed the back of it looks like you could just like take and just ooze like one of those little stress balls? I'm sorry, I'm mean. I don't know. Just let it go.
But okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I guess that would make sense because brains they're not no muscle. It's just like floating in fluid, more or less. It doesn't constrict or expand or anything like that. Well, I guess it does expand if you get a concussion. Your brain swells. So, can't really say that, but yeah.
Doctor told me to lose weight. I'm sorry, I'm a meathead. No, you're a fathead is what you are.
Sorry, just texting the girlfriend. Sorry, texting the fiance. I keep on getting that stuff.
You know, it's different whenever you get married and call her your girlfriend.
I know.
So, I know Scott had a question, and I know you wrote it down. Oh,
Scott had quite a few questions.
Yeah. Good old Scott.
So, Scott Jansky asks, well, we'll start with one. Do we do either one of us collect toys or action figures?
Ah, shit. Okay, so I collect drones.
Okay.
I've got 3, and I don't know where the other 2 are at. I have a baby Yoda. Oh, and here is that one machine, the sunflower machine that Heather told you about in a previous episode.
Hey, you finally get to see it.
You put them in there, and it spits them out. And I put those eyes on it.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it came like that or not.
So those are the toys or action figures that I collect. We collect board games. I'm not going to show you that closet.
Fair enough. I used to, when I was a teenager, I would collect the wrestling action figures, but I have since. Whoa! Did I mean to? Damn. But I have since gotten rid of those. Those have been long gone. So, yeah, not anymore.
All right. Yeah, that was it for me.
Another one of Scott's questions are: do we have any hobbies?
Okay. Yeah, again, I do. I fish and I go camping. I don't have I have a lot of fishing stuff. It's more or less like a luggage than it is a tackle box, and I've got 4 or 5 fishing rods. I don't do any hunting. As far as hobbies, let me move this out of the way here. So I do models. So there is my model car box with the paints and other tools and stuff. That's a tank or an airplane that I'm working on, a car,
Okay.
the old Batmobile, a Fast and Furious car that I've done, and another Fast and Furious car that I've done. And here's a tanker truck.
Oh, okay.
I do wood burning. I don't have any of that. Actually, yeah, I do. I did that.
Okay.
I swear I'm not a hoarder. My wife says different. I can't find the car, but here is what I named Cutthroat Kaiser. Ouch, my toe. It holds the stuff.
Okay.
There. I rearranged my drawers so I can't get to my cars right now, or I would show you the ones that I've done. They're available on my Facebook page, though, in pictures. And I do calligraphy. I don't really have anything to show for it because I haven't done anything, but I do plenty. That's my hobbies.
I don't really have like many hobbies like that. Those are actually good hobbies. I bought a Sudoku book because at one point I was really into Sudoku and I was trying to, the brain teasers, trying to figure out, what number to put where. Kind of haven't done those in a while. The guys that work when we have breaks, they've tried to attempt they've been telling me what to do in regards to chess, and I'm not gonna lie, that does kind of irritate the ever living crap out of me because I'm a friggin' newbie, a noob, a novice. I know, what moves like some like the bishop can go diagonally only,
Right.
the rook can go straight. I get that, but when people are, when I'm looking at the board trying to decide what move I should make to, help me stay alive long enough so I can learn, people are trying to, oh, wow, I would move here. I would move here. I'm at one part of me is like, shut up. Let me learn this on my own. I know I'm gonna get my tail whooped. Just, I gotta do this on my own, or else, because so I've been playing a lot of online chess and been getting my tail whooped. I've won one game, lost about 20. I don't know if it's really a hobby, but there's some. Well, I know you don't follow sports, but I do like a college football pick'em, and I've been doing that for the past 6. Well, this will be the 7th year I've done it. It's just pretty much copy ESPN's formula. There's like there'll be, I'll choose 10 games and I'll assign confidence points. Or a shameless plug. Check out Paulie's Pick'ems if you haven't. You don't even have to really know anything about football at all. You can just I'm gonna put this team with this many points, and sometimes you'll get lucky and score a lot of points, and sometimes you might try to do all the science and all the numbers and crunch the numbers and come up with a certain strategy, and a certain team loses and you lose all those points. So that's one thing I've done for the past 6 years, starting the 7th year. Yeah, I need to get back out into more hobbies. I hadn't been fishing in a while, but I did get my lifetime fishing license for disabled veterans, $117. So, not bad. I mean, that only counts for North Carolina, but I don't really plan on, getting lifetime memberships for each and every state, because that'd be a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Speaking of your Sudoku, Heather plays the crap out of Sudoku. I used to, but we play these brain teasers like true crime stuff that we get. It's interesting. It's like you solve a crime or you try to solve a crime, and then like all kind of cryptos and stuff. We do that. But that's pretty much all the hobbies.
I guess once Amy and I get married, we'll have to get some hobbies as well. Because I know she likes doing crafts. I've done a couple of crafts with her. I don't. They're back in my bedroom. But yeah, I'll bring those out once later.
Okay.
Okay. He asked, well, like hunting or fishing. I've fished more recently than I've hunted. Last time I went hunting, I was like 13, so it's been over 25 years, close to 25 years.
I have never been hunting. It's just I'm accident prone, so if I would shoot something, it would more or less run after me and stomp me to death. So I'm not going to do that.
Well, that kind of ties into his next question. Do you shoot guns?
No, because I was not raised around them. So I've shot a BB gun and accidentally shot my grandma. So there's that. But no, I don't.
I was not necessarily raised around guns either, but I know a lot of guys I work with, they are into ARs. I do not have the money for an AR or an armor light rifle. I have a little 22 rifle, and well, I guess three of the long guns my dad had given to me. My 22, which has a scope on it. So I mean, and then the 270 Winchester, which that kind of packs the punch on the old shoulder. That I've shot that once within the last few years. Have not shot the 20 gauge single shot shotgun yet. And then my uncle's friend, when my uncle died, he said, "Hey, I have something for you," and he gives me a little shotgun. It's in the middle of the funeral home parking lot. He brings out two guns. I'm like, thinking, you can't just bring this out in the middle of the friggin' city. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I put it in my car. I'm like, one he gave me was a single shot bolt action rifle. I'm thinking, what the heck's why would I want a single shot bolt action rifle where I'd have to, do that and then, lock it into place and shoot it, and I'd have to reload it. I mean, what's the point in that? And then he gave me like a 410 shotgun, which is like the smallest bore there is. And then I have 3 pistols. I haven't not shot I have 2 Glocks and a Smith & Wesson. Haven't shot the smallest Glock yet. Kind of still waiting on my concealed carry. So, Sheriff Danny Rogers of Guilford County, I'm needing you to step up because it's been over a year since I've had the class. It's been since January 28th, 2021, since I'm submitted all my paperwork. Give me my gosh dang concealed carry permit.
All right.
Okay. Now I'm off my soapbox with that. And Scott has one more question for the both of us. What kind of video games do you play? And then he's like, y'all should get a PS4 and play with me.
Okay, so I have a Nintendo Switch. For those games, I have Mortal Kombat 11. I have Minecraft. Don't judge. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Heather has Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Of course, we have Pokemon Sword and Shield. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Paper Mario the Origami King. I love that game. And I have WWE 2K Battlegrounds. That's a pretty neat game. And I've got Rapala Fishing Pro Series. And there was another game that I had on the Switch that I don't remember what it was. So as far as the Nintendo Switch, I've got also a PlayStation 2 and Heather. Well, it's Heather's PlayStation 2, and we have a lot of games that are just sitting in the closet. But I have a PlayStation 4. With that, I've got Fallout 76, which I quit playing because I hated all the updates and stuff. I've got Fallout 4. I've got BioShock, the collection, which is 1, 2, and Infinite. I've got GTA 5 that I just bought not too long ago because I got tired of seeing all the mods that people were doing online, so I got that. And I've got another game called The Outer Worlds, which is kind of like Fallout. And I've got a fishing game on there as well. So that is, I think that's all my PS4 games.
So, see, you could actually play with Scott since you have a PS4. I do not. I only have the PS3. I think this one I had this one I had bought myself. The second ex had bought one for me for Christmas one year, and I think that one finally like bit the dust. But I think I bought this one after her and I divorced. I'm not quite sure. There's actually two gaming systems I wish I would have never given to my brother-in-law from the first marriage. I had a Super Nintendo, which still worked, and I love Donkey Kong. I know Donkey Kong. Oh gosh, like Mario games, a few others. You know, I really enjoyed that, but at the time he was I think his sister, my first ex-wife. I think she's like 9 or 10 years older than he is, and we married when I was like 19, so he was like 8 or 9. So I was like, "Here, you can play this." Oh, I wish I never would have done that. And the same with my PlayStation. Go ahead.
So that Super Nintendo, was that the same one that we played in Fort Campbell when we were teenagers?
It sure was.
So everybody was wanting to know, what video games did you play? So this brings me to, and this is why this Q&A is so long, this brings me to something that we have all three talked about, me, Derek, and Heather. This will be our last YouTube episode because we are venturing into the world of podcast. Ooh. So all of you that are giving us slack about your videos are too long, stick it in your ear because that's what we're going to do. So the reason that I brought that up, and we will talk more about this on our podcast, and we're also changing the name of the podcast too. And it's kind of funny because Heather thought about this and she didn't realize it until I told you about it. And it goes back to the name of Mining Your Tapes that we used to send to people.
Oh, Ryan and Derek Uncensored.
Yes. So that is going to be the name of our podcast, Ryan and Derek Uncensored.
Are we gonna go? Are we reprising our characters? Are you gonna be Ryan Austin 314, the mistaken one?
You know, that's a possibility. We'll make a reprisal in a skit. That I do know.
Okay.
So, everybody that's been asking what video games did we play? Okay, we spent many time at each other's house playing until our fingers were pretty much sore. We were playing NBA Jam Tournament Edition. What
Yep, I remember that.
we put in cheat codes to dunk from anywhere and to always be on fire. And we played any Madden game that was EA Sports, mainly because we loved the soundtracks of EA games. And we found out that we could injure our players.
Madden, I think the first Madden game that ever came out was Madden 92. So everyone that was, hating on John Madden because he's like, oh, he repeats himself. This franchise has been going on for almost 30 years. So all you people that talk smack still play his games. He's laughing all the way to the bank. So y'all can stick that in y'all's ear as well, suckers.
Exactly. Because we didn't play it for the score. We played it to see how many damn people we could injure per game. And I think at one point, there was a couple of times that we played Madden 99 that I had to forfeit because you injured most of all my players.
That was not Madden. That was that hockey game.
Oh, yeah. It was an EA NHL 99. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like Dallas, because I would always pick Dallas Stars and use them a lot. And you would always destroy my people. And it was like, we were in the championship, and then you were like, I'm going to see if this works.
Yeah,
What?
I'm just saying. I think I might have chosen the Colorado Avalanche if they were around back then.
Yeah. So I was like, I was almost winning, and then you injured the last of my people that could get injured, and I had nobody else. And it was like, Dallas Stars, that was the forfeit because their people are injured.
I remember you getting so mad about that.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we played a soccer game, FIFA 97, and then we figured out we could injure people there too. So pretty much any game that we could, sports game wise, we would injure each other to the point to where we couldn't play anymore.
I remember back when Blockbuster was a thing.
Yes.
Every once in a while, my dad, and I want to say, I don't remember which gate it was when on post, if it was gate 4 or gate 6. We'd go out and we'd drive a little bit down the road, and there'd be a Blockbuster store there.
That was 4.
Okay. Or I guess the main gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every once in a while my dad would let us borrow or take us to Blockbuster, and we'd rent a game for however many days or whatever. I think I rented like Kirby or the game with Kirby. I don't remember what it's called.
It was Kirby's Dream Land, where he could go and make different people. It was for Nintendo. I remember because we stayed up for almost a whole day and night playing that. And
good times. And
then,
Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, Mortal Kombat 2. I do remember playing that a lot. I don't think 3, because I think 3 came out for the PlayStation. I know it was out there on the arcade back when arcades were a thing as well.
Right.
I got my ass whooped in the BXPX little arcade room. So.
There was one whenever it was a baseball game. It was Ken Griffey's Home Run Derby, or it was something like that. we would all play home run derby, and we would get so many home runs to actually make the announcer or the commentator cuss. Do you remember what they, after so many home runs, he would say, "Oh fuck, you hit it."
Oh, damn.
And we would be like, "Did he really say that? Here, let me try this again." And that would be our thing that we would do for that day. It was just play and knock out home runs and stuff on baseball. That was that all that Scott had for questions?
More or less, yes, unless you got a few.
Uh,
Maybe.
well, that was pretty much it. I know this has been an extremely long Q&A, but this is our last YouTube episode. I know you will be in this venture with me, but I wish you as much luck as I wish you all the luck. As much luck as we're going to get out of this. And I am greatly looking forward to this venture. I've kind of been really excited about this, and yeah, so Podcast Universe, here we come.
And as always, he's Ryan, and I'm Derek. I guess don't no more liking and subscribing since we're going to podcasting, and we'll see you soon.
Or are we? Dun dun dun.
I can even think. Okay, everyone. On this segment, we'll be discussing controversies inside the wrestling ring and outside of the wrestling ring. And Ryan's going to shake his phone.
Hey.
So, Ryan, I think I'll have you start off with the controversies or anything controversial.
Okay, so we have been talking off camera, of course, and so we kind of like decided that our show should have a theme. So if you haven't guessed, that this show, episode 10, will be wrapped around controversy. So we don't have a name for this. I think we do. It'll just be called controversial, inside and outside the ring, like you said. So right now, the Olympics are going on, and I have to get some stuff off my chest already about that. First off, Peacock, you effing suck. You suck, you suck, you suck. There are millions of people, and I know we're on different time zones. They didn't have this damn problem with the Sochi Olympics. There is not any good programming on right now, especially right now at 8 o'clock at night. It's the next day. Instead, there are Olympic highlights. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. You don't get to see the actual stuff happening live like you would if you were tuning into the Olympics. It's all rerun. It's pretty much, they have their own post shows and stuff like that. Nobody wants to see that mess. So let me get into the Olympics. Simone Biles, Olympics U.S. gymnastics person, she bowed out for personal reasons. Whatever it may be, we don't know yet because she just said she wanted to focus on herself. You just spend all this time in conditioning, getting into the Olympics, and you're number one, and then you decide to bow out. I'm not giving you crap about it, but honestly, I feel like as much stuff that has happened with the Olympics already, they should just null and just have everybody go home. Because a few days ago, people were doing the archery tryouts or warming up, and people were passing out left and right because of the heat. And the weather has totally played a screw job on the Olympics. Events that are normally inside or outside are having to be put inside. They made the decision at the last few days to not allow a crowd inside the Olympics because a new COVID strain was coming back. And more Olympic people are getting COVID. So they can't even compete for the Olympics, for their medals that they've worked so hard on because they're getting COVID. And on top of that, I have seen some that I'm actually proud of. Lily J, 17-year-old from Alaska, won gold medal in the swimming and I think it was the backstrokes that she didn't even prepare for. It wasn't even her league, but she got first place. Good on that. And I heard Katie Ledecky, U.S. women's swimming team, also did an amazing job. Those are the only ones that I really know of. However, I don't know if anybody keeps up with it like I do, but you have this one group called, what was it? It was ROC. Yeah, it was ROC. So 2019, Russians got kicked out of the Olympics because of a doping ban. Well, guess what ROC means?
Russian something.
Russian Olympic Committee. Now, just how damn stupid they went through the cracks, and Russians are now in the Olympics, but they're not called Russia. It's the Russian Olympic Committee, and it is the same people that were doping.
Can't be doing too hot though, because I don't think they're in first place for the amount of gold medals or the medals total, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Nope, they're just still in the Olympics, which sucks. And then there's apparently a bunch of controversy that's going on with the unitards. I don't remember what country it was, but there's a bunch of controversy over the unitards because they don't think that they're feminine enough or whatever the case may be. I just saw that, and it's like anytime I want to see something that's about the Olympics, it's like today in the Olympics, controversy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, really? Come on. This is 2 weeks that I actually follow stuff. Not just because of not because of the United States. It's because I like watching this stuff. So it's all controversy laden. And I haven't even really looked at kept up with the medal count. So I'm going to get off my soapbox about that.
okay. Did Heather have any controversies?
Did you have any controversies? It'll be brought up later.
Okay.
Other segment.
Okay. I don't know if I really have any controversies. I did hear it on. I mean, it's been discussed on Grilling JR, good old Jim Ross. He's on his podcast. I guess about when Shawn Michaels, after the Montreal Screw job and after he dropped the title to Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14, he needed to retire from professional wrestling for at least 4 years, from 98 to 2002. So why didn't he, when he retired, did he retire when he had that career-ending knee injury in 1997, which did not allow him to drop the title back to Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13? I mean, I don't know. I've read Shawn Michaels' book. I've read Bret Hart's book. But I'm not going to talk. Well, I'm going to try not to talk about that. But Jim Ross had mentioned, paying Shawn Michaels, or the WWE had been paying Shawn Michaels while he was off, a pretty handsome sum of money to more or less kind of sit at home. So did they do that? So to block him from going down to working at WCW? I don't know. Very good possibility.
Oh, so on that, yeah, I didn't know how much that sum was until I learned about that. To sit at home, and this is around the time that he was commissioner, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Or was
back to commissioner.
He was commissioner, and then he got injured, and then he came back as his original thing was to take time off from being commissioner to spend time with his family, is what he said, and then he came back as a born again Christian.
Yeah.
And he was all about like doing the right thing and choosing the right path and all about God and everything. And then he turns around and gets crappy, and he sweet chin music's Goldberg and tries to say, no, it wasn't me. I did that for your own good. And that's whenever Goldberg had that bounty on his head.
Oh, from Triple H.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, like I said, I was just going to talk about the controversy of why he was paid all that money just to sit at home. I guess on the flip side, like I can talk about wrestling a lot more, but I know Shannon from Madisonville, or maybe or one of our viewers said that like whenever we talk about wrestling, she just kind of goes. But I mean, I guess on the flip side, after WWE purchased WCW, like a lot of talents like Hall, Nash, Goldberg, Sting, they had their contracts actually through AOL Time Warner, so they were not part of that purchase. So, like, I was just watching Legends of Wrestling on Peacock, which for me, WWE and Peacock, I get to watch some of the older shows. Right. Kevin Nash said he was, sitting at home for 13 months, just, collecting on the contract. So I mean, I guess if with guaranteed money, sure, why not? I think there's like two, and I might be mistaken, but I believe Didi Diamond Dallas Page like had his contract bought out so he could come to WWE, and I'm not sure about Booker T, but I know compared to those two, Booker T had a lot more success in WWE than Diamond Dallas Page did. But
Yeah.
like I said, that was my controversy about Shawn Michaels. There's tons more we could talk about, but that don't want to extend this segment longer than what it needs to be.
Well, there is a couple things that I wanted to hit on real quick that were controversial that just kind of got swept under the ring. Jey Uso and his second DUI, and how they're playing it off like, oh, he's part of the family. We're just going to keep it going strong. You know what? Just, if it were me, you got a DUI, bro. You're scrap storyline. My personal opinion. Thuggin' and Buggin', Rodney Mack and Jazz, and Mark Henry, and Teddy Long had the White Boy Challenge, where Rodney Mack would call any white boy out and just beat him to a pulp. But that got stopped by Goldberg. Booker T and Triple H, whenever Booker T challenged Triple H to the world title, and he goes, why don't you, you're not world title material. Why don't you take your nappy hair and go on somewhere and do one of those little spinneroonies that you do and entertain me? And then,
Yeah.
and they just kind of was like, They just kind of let that go. And then the last one, everybody knows about this one. Brother, Hulk Hogan's racist rant. Brother.
Yeah.
They scrapped him out of the whole thing. The, what is it, the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. WWE, they took him off the website.
And Mattel quit making his toys.
Oh dear. Not like he hasn't raked in enough. I don't want to say that. But I mean, yeah, that'll definitely hurt you, like the endorsements and all that. Well, all that other stuff. I can't say like now because I mean, dude's like almost 70 years old. He's almost as old as Ric Flair is. No one's gonna come knocking on your door, and no one wants to see you. No one's gonna want to see him wrestle. He'll be making a name on name recognition from here on out.
Yeah. He was good on WrestleMania with Titus O'Neil dressed up in a pirate costume. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah.
So that does it for our controversial stuff. There was one thing that Heather did have, but she will bring it up later whenever we do our facts.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I know Heather usually does the facts, so I'm doing the facts today for this episode, on episode 10. By the way, I know on film my mustache or beard looks kind of weird, but look, this is white hair. I was blessed with stupid white
hair here. On this side, perfect, goes down. Here, stupid white hair. So that's why it always looks funny. Anyway,
You know they got hair coloring products, right?
well, that won't work for me because, believe me, I've tried it. Ugh. Okay, anyway, so the first fact of today, this we were not taught this in school, so and it's pretty interesting. So somebody tried and failed to save Abraham Lincoln during that fateful night, but he failed, and his life got darker and darker and darker. A Major Henry Rathbone, who was also in the I guess you could call it a booth with him, along with his wife, were in attendance, and as soon as John Wilkes Booth appeared, Rathbone tried to get up and alert the president, but it was too late. Rathbone slipped and he got back up and he caught Booth and knocked him to the ground, but John Wilkes Booth sliced him in the arm with a dagger and got away. So, with living with all that guilt, it took a serious toll on Rathbone. He experienced a ton of health issues and his mental health deteriorated. 18 years after the attack, he killed his wife and he tried to kill himself. He somehow botched the attempt on himself, and he was tried, and he pretty much spent the rest of his life in a mental institution because of the guilt that he had for not being able to protect the president.
Kind of surprising because back in those days they would still hang people. So
Right. Especially after you killed your wife, but I guess they knew it was like a publicly known thing, so they just deemed him insane and kept him locked up. The next fact is there's a company that turns dead bodies into an ocean reef. It's a company called Eternal Reefs, and I did not look it up to see where it is. I'm sure it's worldwide. So what they do is they mix the cremated remains of a person with concrete to create a pearl type material onto which loved ones can etch personal messages, handprints or fingerprints, and the pearl is then encased in a reef ball and is dropped into the sea, where there are other reefs, and it eventually becomes part of the ecosystem. On a darker note,
literally,
yeah, that is. Have you not seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Like those now I see where SpongeBob SquarePants comes from. The remains of dead people.
I was just going to talk about how deep inside the sea that goes, because the sunlight only penetrates the water a certain amount of feet. So yeah. Okay, and I guess depending on where they drop it at, probably would turn into a pearl because the further down it goes, the more pressure is applied. So yeah.
So we're all living in the sea again.
I can't say that I would do that. I do plan on being cremated just because it's a whole lot cheaper than getting a burial plot. Once Amy and I get married, we'll have to discuss that at some point. And I'm going to have to discuss that with my son, Matthew, too, to find out or to let him know what I would like done. Because I do plan on going before he does in that regard.
Well, on mine, I'll probably be so mentally out of it, it wouldn't really matter. But I do want to be at least, if I'm a vegetative state, I do want to have a fishing pole strapped to my hands and in the wheelchair and on the edge of a pier. So I'll just think I'm fishing and, there I go. So are you ready for the third one?
Yeah.
All right. So from the man that brought us so many horror movies when we were younger, Alfred Hitchcock. What would you think he is afraid of?
Scary movies. I don't know.
So I couldn't find a lot of information on this, but it was well known that he was afraid of eggs.
Eggs, that's right. I think I remember hearing about that. I don't know why I didn't remember.
He was horrified of them. He was quoted as saying, "That white round thing without any holes, and when you break it, there's that little yellow thing, again, that doesn't have any holes. I will not consume these. I don't like to touch them," and it was just kind of weird. But, I mean, to each their own. I have this irrational fear of rabbits. Okay? There, I've said it.
No Easter Bunny for you.
No. So, the fourth fact, what do you think is behind the most power outages?
In this day and age, I would say hackers, but I'm sure that fact is going to be wrong.
You would be right, except squirrels are behind most power outages in the United States.
Because they chew on the power lines?
Yes. Our government has created something called the Squirrel Index.
Okay.
It also goes along with the Power Index. So the peak times are generally from May to June and October to November is whenever the United States sees its most power outages. Because the squirrels, they're destructive little bastards for one. My bird feeders can attest to that. They like to chew and go crazy on the power lines, and they cost billions of dollars worth of damage.
Yeah. October to November would be, it's legal to hunt squirrels, but May to June, well, at least here in North Carolina, the only thing you can really hunt like April to May is like wild turkey for some reason, which I guess I need to delve back into that of why it's so many months before Thanksgiving. You're allowed to take one turkey. I think I'd have to go look at the regulations, but pretty much everything else is like in the fall. It starts in the fall and ends in the winter. So I don't know. Maybe just take a BB gun if you see a squirrel on a power line and be like, "Oh, not today!" Bang.
I do know a lot of people in the country actually do shoot at the squirrels, and the squirrels have gotten smart enough to take rocks and everything else up into the trees and throw them at the people.
Wow.
I have seen that happen with my own eyes, and I just thought that was the craziest thing ever.
I'm gonna grab some rock with the little T-Rex arms.
So, the last but not least fact: the inventor of the Pringles can is buried in one.
How fitting, literally.
So you know where I'm going with this. Hands. You cannot get. He should have made the damn thing bigger. Because it's hard to get your hand inside of a Pringle can.
But why would you want to go grab his remains?
I'm just saying, like, that's Pringles in general. That's why I don't buy Pringles. Because, like, you can only do this or you just dump them out on something. Instead of holding a chip bag.
But why would you buy a bag that's like 80% air and 20% chips? For convenience? So you pay. So I would be getting my money's worth with the Pringles because I kind of tilt it off to the side and, like you said, do the whole do that. And you buy pretty much a bag full of air and a little bit of chips. So actually, in that case, I'm getting the better end of the deal.
Yeah, I could see your point. If they were bigger, like, I don't know. We should do a test to see, like, versus chip wise and a Pringles can and a bag of chips.
That sounds like yeah, I'd be down for that. So, question though, I think you said on the page and in the group this was going to be a controversial question and answer from Heather. Nothing really too controversial.
Okay, so
Unless I'm missing something.
the controversial thing was about the dead bodies in the ocean reef and about the fact that the Major Henry Rathbone went crazy. But what she was actually wanting to bring up, so we went to go see Space Jam 2. There was already a lot of flack about it because how a lot of people were trying to desexualize a lot of characters. And I guess Zendaya, who voiced Lola Bunny, was comfortable with Lola Bunny's body. So to accommodate her, they changed her body. They pretty much scrapped the boobs, the butt, and they just gave her a little bit of blush. That was it. But you do see Wonder Woman and everybody else, and Wonder Woman is about to just flop out of her costume, or not costume, but her uniform, whatever. Compared to the first season or the first Space Jam, where Lola Bunny was like a jaw dropper, like a Rabbit Alexa Bliss. And then now you've got this just pretty much female rabbit. And yeah, that's it. And a lot of people were upset over that.
Yeah, I would still say more people were more upset LeBron James was in Space Jam 2 compared to Michael Jordan. So LeBron James has his supporters and he has his detractors. Yeah, of course, that's me looking at the sports side of things. I know you and Heather might not be sports people, but that's kind of where I mean, I did hear about the Lola Bunny, but I heard more about LeBron James in that movie and how it wasn't good. Because I haven't seen it yet. A few people that are in those sports talks groups that I'm in, they have seen it. They say it's not that great. I'm not gonna, base my opinion to say, I'm not gonna parrot what they say without, going to see it for myself and drawing my own conclusions.
Okay, so this is my own opinion. Charles Barkley in the first movie did a whole hell of a lot better acting than LeBron James. Oh my God.
Man, you're saying that LeBron James was terrible, huh?
It
Terrible.
was horrible, man. I don't know why they gave the lead role to him. I surely wouldn't have.
Because he is, right now, he is the most popular basketball player that is still, he's like a household name. Like, Jordan's in his 50s, almost, well, like he said, he's almost closer to his 60s now. LeBron's like a year or two or three younger than we are. No one really knows like who. I tell you that there are quite a few people that know a lot of players. Everyone knows LeBron James. Everyone knew Kobe Bryant, but unfortunately he passed away in that helicopter accident last January, I think. So, but to quickly circle back to rabbits and over sexualizing. Do they not know about Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Over sexualized, my goodness. I was like 7 years old ish when that movie came out, and I didn't know, what I would find out later in my teenage years about, my body and all that. But yeah. I'll just leave it at that. When I saw Jessica Rabbit and some of her provocative mannerisms, oh my goodness! I think that was like at 7 years old. That was like my first crush was on a freaking cartoon character.
Well, mine would have been that one. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but I think it was called Cool World or something like that.
Oh,
yeah, you'll have to look.
Yeah, I have not seen it. I've seen like the I know what you're talking about like real life or animation in like real life. Yeah, she was the blonde, kind of shorter blonde hair, and she had like the white dress on.
Yeah, well, it was a corset.
Of course. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was mine. But yeah, that is all the facts that I have for today. As we mentioned on, I think it was our Q&A, we are now delving into the podcast realm. And from the people that I've talked to, it sounds like the best way to go, because we like to talk, and all you gotta do is just put it in your ear, and you don't have to sit and watch.
Or if you have a newer vehicle, you can Bluetooth and put us on and drive down the road. Unfortunately, I have to use the old. I have to hook up the old-fashioned way because, yeah,
The old aux cord.
the old aux cord. I couldn't think of what it was. Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps this segment up, and we will see you soon.
Later, everyone.